The film starts with a hotel called Soul Kitchen, which is also the name of the film. The owner of the hotel is a boy named Zenos who was running the whole hotel. Now he was a little lazy, but still he used to do all his work very well. He was also the chef here, means he used to cook food as well. He had so much taste in his hands and used to cook such delicious food that every night his hotel used to get a rush of customers. One reason for the customers to come here was also along with the delicious food, the rates here were also very low. Here, along with Zenos, the rest of the hotel workers were also shown. One was a waitress, another was a bar owner, one was an old man who was homeless, means he did not do any work here but he used to get a place to live for free. Zenos also had a friend whom he loves a lot. Her name was Lucia. She was the daughter of a very rich businessman. Although there was a relationship between the two of them, but after a while, there used to be a fight between them. Like, Lucia wanted to go to Shanghai to complete her studies while Zenos did not want her to go there. Now, one night when Zenos was closing the hotel and going home, he met his childhood friend here. His friend was a big investor, a businessman. Because of this, he was rich. Here, he tells Zenos about himself and then asks about him. What do you do? When Zenos says, I am the owner of a hotel, I am running my whole hotel. Hearing this, his friend investor says, okay fine, I will visit your hotel sometime. Saying this, he leaves from here. The next night, Zenos went to a huge hotel because Lucia and her whole family had come here for dinner. They also called Zenos. This hotel was good and expensive. Now, at the beginning, everything is fine. But still, Zenos and Lucia start arguing about something. Tired of their argument, Lucia's mom shouts at both of them that sit quietly and eat comfortably, due to which both have to end the fight. Now, another customer of this hotel, who does not like food very much and also feels it cold. He calls the chef there and tells him that there is no taste in the food, on top of that it is also cold, so you give something else. But the master chef, who is the head chef here, refuses to do this because he was a little arrogant and was a person of his own will, and he did not like the fact that someone should order me. When the customer does not listen to this and shouts at him, the master chef also gets angry. He stabs the knife on his table and says, eat quietly, that has been given to you to eat. There is no need to take out faults. Now, due to this chaos, the manager has to come there, and when he finds out about the whole situation, he removes the master chef from the job. Now, Zenos, who had been watching this for a long time, he finds this thing interesting. He got interested in this, so he also came out of the hotel quickly, and starts talking to the master chef standing there. He offers him a job in his hotel Soul Kitchen. You work in my hotel. The master chef agreed on it, but says I will come after a few days for the job. At night, Zenos and Lucia were spending time with each other because the next morning Lucia is going to Shanghai. She promises Zenos here that I will always be in touch with you. The next morning Zenos goes to drop her at the airport, and here Zenos says goodbye to her by keeping a stone on his heart. He expresses his love here again, that I love you very much. Try to come back soon, then we will get married. Because she was getting late, so she says goodbye to him and leaves from there. In the next scene, we see a prisoner in jail, who was serving a year in the crime of robbing. Here it was found that this prisoner is no one else but Zenos's brother, but he was addicted to gambling, that's why he stole. But because he had a good relationship with the other prisoners, so he was kept in a good jail for this reason. He is also given a lot of facilities, like he can go out of jail at the weekend and can do whatever he wants. But before the next morning, he had to come back. On the evening of the weekend, he goes to Zenos to meet him, where Zenos is happy to see him as well as surprised. Here his brother asks for help from Zenos and says, you give me a job in your hotel. He says, if I have a job, then the jail people will often give me such leaves. Saying this, he takes out the agreement papers from his pocket and tells Zenos to take it and sign it immediately. Hearing this, he starts thinking and looks a little confused, and because he did not want to get into any trouble, so he refuses to sign. But when his brother begs him a lot, then he has to listen to his brother. Obviously, he also loved his brother, so he signs the agreement. The next morning, when Zenos was picking up something heavy in the kitchen, then suddenly he started feeling pain because he had hernia, which was hurting a lot now, and he started suffering. Now seeing him in pain, Zenos's workers tell him to go to the doctor, but he refuses. He also becomes furious and says, I do not have health insurance with which I can get my treatment done. I will have to suffer in such pain. At night, when he was talking to Lucia, she recognizes Zenos's trouble. She asks, why are you so worried today? And he tells her everything, that his hernia is hurting a lot because of the injury. On it, Lucia says, you go to one of my friends, who is a good doctor of bones, tissues and muscles. She will definitely give you some good advice. Zenos says, okay fine, I will go, but let me tell you one thing, I miss you a lot, and my heart is eager to meet you, I want to meet you soon. On this, Lucia says, but this cannot happen because I have come here for 6 months, I cannot come before that. Now after hearing this, Zenos becomes sad, but says the next moment, then what if you cannot come, I will come to you, Shanghai. The next day, Zenos buys a lot of books from the bookstore in China so that she can learn the language of Shanghai. After this, he goes to Lucia's same friend doctor who does a good checkup on him first and then advises her that you get a surgeon operated immediately, otherwise this problem of yours can also increase. But Zenos could not do this because of not having health insurance. He says to the doctor, no problem, I will bear this pain for some time. Hearing this, the doctor teaches him some exercises so that Zenos can do this daily and save himself from pain. The next day, the master chef finally comes to Zenos's hotel. First of all, he checks the menu. Here means what foods are there in Zenos's hotel, but looking at the menu he becomes disappointed because he did not like this menu at all. He throws the menu away and says to Zenos, in my opinion, all this is garbage, so I will not cook this garbage at all, I will make my own menu. When Zenos refused to do this, the master chef quietly leaves from there, but because of the pain, Zenos was not in a condition to cook, so he had to listen to the master chef. Both were talking. Meanwhile, the tax officers come here. Female tax officer tells Zenos that your tax has increased a lot, that you will have to pay right now, but because he did not have any money to pay, then the tax officer takes her musical system from there and takes it with her. Because of this, the hotel workers have to sing there themselves. Now all those customers come to the hotel this night who used to come here before, but when they find out that the menu here has been completely changed, then they felt bad and get irritated. They start demanding for the previous food, but the master chef clearly refuses to cook those foods in front of all the customers. Hearing this, all the customers felt bad. They get up together and leave from there. Due to it, the whole hotel is empty. Now seeing this, Zenos feels bad and also becomes furious. That's why he tells all his workers to go to their own homes, and because there was no customer in his hotel, so he also closed the hotel. One was the tension of the hotel and the other was the pain of his hernia. Due to this, Zenos could not even walk properly. When he was lying down, his friend, the investor, comes here. After talking for a while, he takes Zenos out of the house, where he shows him all his property and business whose price was in the millions. Then his investor friend also says, now Zenos, I want to buy your hotel, so that after buying it I can break it completely, and then by investing money on it, I can make it good, and when I get an attractive price for it, I will sell it. Hearing this, Zenos feels sad, thinking that although he is my friend, but he has kept an eye on my things, but still he clearly refuses to sell his hotel, because obviously the hotel was like his family for him, it was a kind of his home. Now this night, the rest of the workers again play music in the hotel, but this time he had brought many musical instruments with them which were quite big, due to which the sound of their music was quite loud, and hearing this, many people around come inside the hotel. Due to this, once again their hotel is filled. Now all the customers were hungry, so they asked them for food, and because Zenos could not cook food, so he calls the master chef and invites him to the hotel. That's when the master chef starts cooking his food. He made a lot of different dishes which everyone likes a lot. Firstly, their taste was good, and secondly, every dish was presented in a new way. The food was so delicious that all the customers were shocked, which looked like their hotel was alive again, that was slowly dying. Similarly, then many days passed, where people started liking the hotel a lot because of their food, their environment, and music. Here, Zenos's brother also started taking his work seriously. He used to do his work quite well. If we talk about Zenos, he still wanted to go to his friend Lucia to Shanghai. Because of this, he was looking for a manager who could take care of the hotel after his departure. Now it is obvious that that person should also be honest, and because for this work, Zenos thinks the waitress is perfect, so he also asks her about it. That after my departure, will you be the manager of my hotel? To which she clearly refused by saying that I want to be a painter. Many more people come to the hotel tonight, seeing whom all the workers and Zenos were happy but also surprised to see their number, but they found out that a music party is going on nearby. So people are coming to their hotel from there to eat. Seeing the increasing number of customers, all the workers of Zenos start their work, while the master chef starts his work to cook food. He did his work so well that he served food to all the customers very well, and then in a short time, his hotel becomes the most famous hotel in that area. Because of this, Zenos also starts earning a lot of money. He also invested some money on his hotel, and by changing it, he already made it good and new. In his free time, he was also learning some techniques of cooking cooking from the master chef, which we are also quite surprised to see his skills. In the meantime, Zenos' friend kept telling him again and again that sell me your hotel, but when Zenos clearly refused him, then he only met with disappointment. After a few days, we saw that Zenos has finally taken his decision. He does not make anyone else but makes his own brother the manager of the hotel. He did not take this decision because he is his brother. He would be trustworthy, but apart from this, he had no other choice. The next day, both the brothers go to the property office where they sign a contract in which Zenos made his brother in charge of everything in his hotel. That means when he leaves, his brother will take care of the whole hotel behind him. In addition to doing this, Zenos had also given his house to his brother to live. The next day, Zenos reaches the airport, but as he moves forward to go to the waiting area, he is quite surprised to see his friend Lucia there, who was looking sad. She hugs him and says, actually my grandmother has died, so that's why I had to come here and now I'm going back. Hearing this, Zenos relaxes her, handles her and says, okay, wait for me. I will also come with my luggage after it. I will also go to Shanghai with you, but Lucia ignores him and leaves. As Zenos starts picking up his heavy luggage, he again started having back pain due to hernia. He falls down and his condition gets worse that he could not even stand due to the pain. That's why he was immediately taken to the hospital, where the doctor tells him that we will have to do the operation immediately. But until now, because that poor guy did not have health insurance, that's why he asks the doctor that if he survives without the operation, then how will it be? I will be fine, right? On which the doctor says that no, you will not be fine. On the contrary, your hernias will continue to increase, which will make your condition so bad, and there will be such a pain in the back that you will not be able to walk. But because he did not have any other way, that's why he gives Zenos some medicines and asks him to completely rest. So that's why now Zenos decides not to go to the hotel for a while. During this time, he was trying to contact Lucia again and again. He called Lucia so many times, but neither was she picking up his call, nor did she contact him herself. It felt like she wanted to go away from Zenos, or she was hiding something. Zenos did not even understand why she was doing this, so to get answers to his questions, he goes to her house where her grandmother's funeral was going on. Coming here, Zenos found out why Lucia was doing this to him. She has actually made a relationship with someone else now, and seeing them together, Zenos gets angry. He first screams a lot, after which he attacks that man, which causes a commotion there. There was a lot of destruction, due to which the coffin also falls down. Seeing all these situations, the people there get scared. In the hotel, Zenos' brother was running the hotel well. Everything was going well, but Zenos' friend, the investor, comes to make trouble here and challenges Zenos' brother to play cards. Zenos' brother wins some games first, so he feels that today my fate is supporting me, so that's why now he started playing bets, means gambling, in which he started losing. In the same way, while losing, he gets stuck in a 100,000 euro loan, which he could have paid in one way, that if he had handed over Zenos' hotel to his friend, the investor, which makes it clear that all this was a planned plan of that cunning investor. After it, they went to the property office and they have to sign on the agreement. After doing this, the officer sitting there tells them that from next week the owner of this hotel will become an investor. The next day, it was shown that finally Zenos has come back and finds out this bad news about the hotel. His heart breaks and felt bad, so he shouts a lot at his brother, but then he controls himself because he was in so much pain that he did not have the courage to do anything. But still, both the brothers somehow try to enter the investor's office so that he can steal the contract paper that will cancel this agreement, and they get the hotel back. After finding a little, they got that contract paper, but when they were leaving, but the police comes here. Seeing the police, Zenos' brother starts running away from there, but Zenos' condition was such that running away was a far-fetched thing. He could not even move. Because of this, they are caught. After a few days, it was shown that Zenos is released, while his brother is sentenced to 10 more years for his previous crimes. That's why the two brothers say goodbye to each other from the bottom of their hearts. After it, Zenos goes from the jail. The next day, Zenos goes to a doctor for his back pain, who used to treat people by moving the body, which used to be scary. Zenos went there and was scared. He could not move forward. On it, Lucia's friend, the doctor who had now become Zenos' friend, encourages him that do not be afraid, work with courage and see, in a minute you will be fine. So that doctor first lays Zenos on the ground and then ties his legs to his waist with a rope, and as he pulled the rope, there was a sudden prick in Zenos' bone. Due to it, his pain went away in the next second, means his treatment was complete today and now he was absolutely fine. In the next scene, we see the time after a few years when Zenos used to work as a driver in a hotel. One day Lucia came to meet Zenos and says let's go for dinner. When these two were sitting in the hotel, Lucia says I have brought you here so that I can apologize to you that I have deceived you and I am ashamed of what I have done. She says, that day I ran away from the airport because I was sad because of my grandmother's death, and as for the man with whom I have a relationship, as we went to China, we met each other and we built a relationship. I love him, Zenos, and now forgive me please. After this, he asks her the next plan. When Lucia says soon I will go back to that boy in Shanghai because we will get married soon. Zenos's heart broke, but for this too he agrees. Now Zenos's brother was in jail, but everyone there respected him a lot, and then it was shown that the investor also comes to the same jail because he was arrested by the tax officer because one friend had not paid the tax and he had proof of manipulation of money. Now Zenos finds out that the government has taken over Seoul Kitchen, so he is happy and decides to buy his hotel again, but because he did not have money, so he goes to Lucia and asks her for money. Now because Lucia was already ashamed to cheat him, so she gives Zenos a check of 2 lakh euros. After getting the money, he becomes happy. He buys that property and starts Seoul Kitchen again, and now he has started working more diligently in his hotel, makes delicious food, and he feeds that food to his only and favorite customer, who was no one else but the doctor, with whom Zenos had become friends and both liked each other. Now both were happy to eat delicious food and get Seoul Kitchen Hotel again.